Welcome into NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey. We're kind of in between free agency, the NFL draft, which is the perfect time to break down some of the top NFL trade candidates, some of the more notable names potentially out there on the open market. We'll start with the most obvious one, and thus won't spend that much time on it. Aaron Rodgers. It's a matter of, I think, when, not if, Aaron Rodgers ends up becoming a Jet. The trade, maybe it's a couple seconds, some conditional picks mixed in there since the Jets seem to be worried about how long Rodgers will play. New York has also no backup plan, which is a choice, I suppose. They're kind of committed to Rodgers at this point, so we'll wait and see what happens. But I think by round 2 of the draft, my prediction, it's Rodgers, so it's always a bold prediction, I guess. He'll be a member of the New York Football Jets. Let's go to another very common trade rumor name out there, DeAndre Hopkins. He's been on the market for a while now. We've known since long after the year ended that Hopkins could be traded by Arizona. The Cardinals don't appear to be getting very good offers at this stage. I think part of it is the age and the contract and the dip in play because he's missed time the past couple of years. 9 games, 10 games in 2022, 2021. The PED suspension was there. He's not the same guy he was at his absolute peak. I still think Houston moved on from him probably a good 2 or 3 years early. But Arizona appears to be rebuilding, or at least retooling. We'll see when Ekelery returns. It might not be week 1 coming off that knee injury. So Hopkins' trade seems also mostly inevitable. But there's been conflicting reports on who's interested. The Chiefs and Bills, because imagine Hopkins with Mahomes and Josh Allen, have been heavily linked. Some sources say they're involved. Others say they're not. So you've got the conflicting reports there. The Ravens are a logical fit because it's Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay. Doesn't really strike fear. What a great way Mark Andrews is a tight end, but they signed, the big signing was Nelson Aguilar. They still don't have another quality receiver. Adding Hopkins would, I think, help Lamar be happy. I assume. The Patriots have been very heavily linked, but they also signed Juju Smith-Schuster. Falcons, Giants, others have been more speculatively linked, but the offers have not come in. Cardinals allegedly wanted a 2. They might not get anything more than a 3 or a 4 at this point. So today's pinned comment is this question. Name a player who you think ends up getting traded. Sound off for me at the pinned comment, especially if the ad break comes here on YouTube. Ignore it. Go drop that player name at the pinned comment. How about Austin Ekeler? A lot of guys who have requested trades that we will include on here. He requested a trade so he can get paid, get the bag. The running back market is bad, though, for a soon-to-be 28-year-old, or age 28 season, I should say, back. Chargers don't want to pay him big money. No one else has shown that much interest at this stage. He's a good football player. Don't get me wrong. He'll give you about 900 yards on the ground and 600, 700 through the air. He's a PPR machine. He had 107 catches last year. As this guy's like a slot receiver. That's valuable. But he's a running back. And NFL teams just don't like running backs these days. We've seen that time and time again. With where things currently sit. So that's a pretty significant red flag. Some teams that could make some sense, the Bills, because they love running backs and spending assets on them. He'd be great in Philadelphia, man. Miami, he'd be a fun fit. The Bengals, if they would want to move on from Joe Mixon, could make some sense. I wouldn't rule out the Commanders for a back in general because I'm not sure they're sold on Antonio Gibson. Similar teams could also have interest in Dalvin Cook. There have been rumors of the Vikings shopping Cook. He was a prime cut candidate. That has not materialized at this point. He's owed about $11 million this year. And the concern is that, you know how you can just spot regression and not being as good anymore? How about Dalvin Cook's last 3 years? Got worse by about 0.3/0.4 yards per carry. If that trend continues, it's 4.1 next year. That's not great. He had 14 more yards last year on more carries in 4 more games. That's not what you want. Barely more yards in more games, more carries. The decline has begun to set in a little bit on that front. So pick a running back. DC for Dalvin Cook, AE for Austin Ekeler. Which back would you rather have on your roster? Assume the contracts end up looking somewhat similar, since in theory you'd have to pay Ekeler as well. Sound off in the comments. DC or AE? The 2023 version of the official NFL draft hats are out, so get yours today for your favorite NFL team. All 32 teams are represented, so go get yours. Chatsports.com/NFL draft hats. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's video. It's all similar style. It's got the city text, or I guess state text up top in small font, then the logo and the team colors with the nicknames on there. I think they look better than some of the previous editions. Chatsports.com/NFL draft hats. Links in the comment section and the description of today's video. Ed Oliver is one of my favorite sneaky NFL trade candidates. He, simply put, has not lived up to expectations. He has not been the guy that I know Buffalo thought he was going to be. Look at his production. 5 sacks, 3 sacks, 4 sacks, 2.5 sacks. That's not really getting the job done in the way you would like it to get done. And at $10.75 million, I could see Buffalo being willing to move on and see if they can maybe go get a different defensive tackle in the draft and ship him out somewhere else. Some teams that could make some sense. How about the Bengals? They are in the market for a 3 technique potentially. The Bears desperately need one. I love that fit because they got to spend some money too. The Cowboys, and they did re-sign Jonathan Hankins, but they want that 3 technique guy. The Lions that'd just be fun for me up front. Dark horse, the Saints, since money is never a problem for them. Similar teams could also have interest in a more expensive player, but a much better one, in Jeffrey Simmons, who is looking for a massive contract extension. He's going to want somewhere between Daron Payne and Aaron Donald money, and it might be a little bit closer to the Aaron Donald money than it is the Daron Payne money. I don't know if the Titans will pay him. I would, because he's awesome. This is one of the best defensive players in the NFL at the defensive tackle spot. The numbers don't even do justice to how dynamic he is up front. Pass rusher, run stopper. If you're creating the top 5-ish list of defensive tackles, I'm putting Simmons on there. So I'm a big fan of what he brings. And if he does start to be moved, I think there'd be some real interest. All right, so get NFL daily videos every single day right here at Chat Sports. It's free. It always will be. Multiple videos each and every single day. Hit that sub button. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Don't forget about Allen Robinson. Remember, at the beginning of the offseason, he got trade permission, or at least permission to go seek a trade, and the Rams would love to offload his contract, and nobody had interest because he has been bad for 2 years now. He's missed time, 12 games, 10 games. He was once quarterback proof. Didn't matter who his QB was. He was going to give you 1,000 yards. Now, he played 22 games the past 2 years and didn't even get to 800 yards. He is not the same guy that he once was. That contract for the Rams was a significant mistake. So be honest with me. No lying, because I kind of did for at least a little bit there. Did you forget that Allen Robinson got trade permission from the Rams? Because if you did, I get it. Be honest with me. Y for yes, N for no. We're going to cheat on our top 10 list and put 2 Broncos wide receivers here. Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. Both have been linked in trade rumors. Jeudy has been allegedly a first-round pick. He's due for a new deal at some point soon. Courtland Sutton, meanwhile, might not be as expensive, maybe a second-round pick, but he's got a bigger contract. Jeudy was on the trade block at last year's NFL trade deadline. The whispers were they wanted a second and then some more after the crazy change of the Chase Claypool trade that messed everything up. Now they want a first, and I don't think they're going to get that, which means he's probably 6th round. Sutton, though, could make some more sense. Hasn't been the same guy the past 3 years. But if they want a second, that's probably pushing it a little bit as well. But Denver been in the mix for other free agent wide receivers. Of course, didn't get anybody. This one, I think, will remain a topic until, day 3 of the NFL draft if someone gets moved. So more likely to be traded. Who is it among the Broncos wideouts? CS for Courtland Sutton, JJ for Jerry Jeudy. Let's go with one offensive lineman, center Ryan Kelly. At one point, one of the better centers in the entire NFL, has seen his play dip a little bit. The Colts are open to trading him. I know the report was of the Colts have had teams call about Ryan Kelly. It means they want to trade him because he's set to make $10.13 million. He's gone through some really unfortunate stuff in his personal life that is really unfair and unfortunate for him and his family. But he has not been the same guy. Like, he was supposed to be this great elite center. 5 sacks is a lot for a center. I hope he gets things back on track, but that's kind of some concern from that standpoint. Finally, of course, it's Lamar Jackson. You knew he was going to be on here, right? He's requested a trade, and no one has even shown interest yet, which doesn't really make any sense from that standpoint. So I don't know what's going to happen with Lamar. He should get paid by somebody. He's too good not to be. Yet here we are in late March, early April, and we have to wait and see what the status is for Lamar Jackson moving forward.